Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we're on day 124. I'm so happy that you're here today and I hope you're doing fantastic. We're going to be reading out of Numbers chapters 12 and 13, Isaiah chapter 9, Matthew chapter 4, and then we're going to close out the day with Psalm chapter 78, but only verses 32 through 39. So let's get started with Numbers chapters 12 and 13. What are they doing to me? I don't know. Here we go. Miriam and Aaron spoke to Moses because of the Cushite woman whom he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. They said, "Has Yahweh indeed spoken only with Moses? Hasn't he spoken also with us?" And Yahweh heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than all the men who were on the surface of the earth. Yahweh spoke suddenly to Moses, to Aaron, and to Miriam. "You three come out of the tent of meeting." The three of them came out. Yahweh came down in a pillar of cloud and stood at the door of the tent and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forward. He said, "Now hear my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known to him in a vision. I will speak with him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so. He is faithful in all my house. With him I will speak mouth to mouth, even plainly, and not in riddles, and he shall see Yahweh's form. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant, against Moses?" Yahweh's anger burned against them, and he departed. The cloud departed from over the tent, and behold, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. Aaron looked at Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Aaron said to Moses, "O my Lord, please don't count this sin against us, in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Let her not, I pray, be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb." Moses cried to Yahweh, saying, "Heal her, God, I beg you." Yahweh said to Moses, "If her father had but spit in her face, shouldn't she be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut up outside of the camp 7 days, and after that she shall be brought in again." Miriam was shut up outside of the camp 7 days, and the people didn't travel until Miriam was brought in again. Afterward, the people traveled from Hazeroth and encamped in the wilderness of Paran. Chapter 13. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Send men that they may spy out of the land of Canaan, which I give to the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every one a prince among them." Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran according to the commandment of Yahweh. All of them were men who were heads of the children of Israel. These were their names. Of the tribes of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zaccur. Of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. Of the tribe of Issachar, Igal, the son of Joseph. Of the tribe of Ephraim, Hosea, the son of Nun. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Rupha. Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodai. Of the tribe of Joseph. Of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadai, the son of Susai. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. Of the tribe of Asher, Sethur, the son of Michael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nahabi, the son of Jophsai. Of the tribe of Gad, Geuel, the son of Makai. These are the names of the men who Moses sent to spy out the land. Moses called Hosea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan and said to them, "Go up this way by the south and go up into the hill country. See the land, what it is, and the people who dwell therein, whether they are strong or weak, whether they are few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it is good or bad, and what cities they are that they dwell in, whether in camps or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it is fertile or poor, whether there is wood therein or not. Be courageous, and bring some of the fruit of the land." Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and spied out the land of the wilderness of Zin to Rehob, to the entrance of Hamath. They went up by the south and came to Hebron, and Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were there. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. They came to the valley of Eshcol and cut down from there a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bore it on a staff between two. They also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster which the children of Israel cut down from there. They returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days. They went and came to Moses, to Aaron, and to all the congregation of the children of Israel, to the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word to them and to all their congregation. They showed them the fruit of the land. They told him and said, "We came to the land where you sent us. Surely it flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. However, the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Amalek dwells in the land of the south. The Hittite, the Jebusite, and the Amorite dwell in the hill country. The Canaanite dwells by the sea and along the side of the Jordan." Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, "Let's go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it." But the men who went up with him said, "We aren't able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." They brought up an evil report of the land which they had spied out to the children of Israel, saying, "The land through which we have gone to spy it out is a land that eats up its inhabitants, and all the people who we saw in it are men of great stature. There we saw Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come from Nephilim. We were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight." Meaning they're little people compared to the people who actually occupy the land. All right, Isaiah chapter 9. Like grasshoppers. That's funny. All right. Here we go. "But there shall be no more gloom for her who was in anguish. In the former time he brought into contempt the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali. But in the latter time he has made it glorious by the way of the sea, beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the nations. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. The light was shined on those who lived in the land of the shadows of death. You have multiplied the nation. You have increased their joy. They rejoice before you according to the joy in harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the plunder. For the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, you have broken as in the day of Midian. For all the armor of the armed man in the noisy battle and the garments rolled in blood will be for burning, fuel for the fire. For a child is born to us. A son is given to us, and the government will be on his shoulders. His name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there shall be no end, on David's throne and on his kingdom, to establish it and to hold it with justice and with righteousness from that time on, even forever. The zeal of Yahweh of armies will perform this. The Lord sent a word into Jacob, and it falls on Israel. All the people will know, including Ephraim and the inhabitants of Samaria, who say in pride and in arrogance of the heart, the bricks have fallen, but we will build with cut stone. The sycamore fig trees have been cut down, but we will put cedars in their place. Therefore Yahweh will set up on high against him the adversaries of Rezin, and will stir up his enemies. The Syrians in front and the Philistines behind, and they will devour Israel with their open mouth. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Yet the people have not turned to him who struck them, neither have they sought Yahweh of armies. Therefore Yahweh will cut off from Israel head and tail, palm branch and reed, in one day. The elder and the honorable man is the head, and the prophet who teaches is in the tail. For those who lead his people lead them astray, and those who are led by them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord will not rejoice over their young men, neither will he have compassion on their fatherless and widows. For every one is profane and an evildoer, and every mouth speaks folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For wickedness burns like a fire. It devours the briars and thorns. Yes, it kindles in the thickets of the forest, and they roll upward in a column of smoke. Through Yahweh of armies' wrath, the land is burned up, and the people are the fuel for the fire. No one spares his brother. One will devour on the right hand and be hungry, and he will eat on the left hand, and they will not be satisfied. Everyone will eat the flesh of his own arm. Manasseh eating Ephraim, and Ephraim eating Manasseh, and they together will be against Judah. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Oh my goodness. Okay, Matthew chapter 4. It still just kind of blows my mind how the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they were so well educated in the book of Isaiah. They knew Isaiah chapter 9. They knew it. How could they not see Jesus? I have the benefit of, reading history. They were history. So, maybe they thought he was a false prophet. It's so clear. Anyways, Matthew chapter 4. I've been all riled up these last few days. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. When he had fasted for 40 days and for 40 nights, he was hungry afterward. The tempter came and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But Jesus answered, "It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of God's mouth." Then the devil took him into the holy city. He set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, so that you don't dash your foot against a stone." Jesus said to him, "Again, it is written, You shall not test the Lord your God." Again, the devil took him to an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all of the kingdoms of the world and their glory. He said to him, "I will give you all these things if you fall down and worship me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get behind me, Satan, for it is written, You shall worship the Lord your God, and you shall serve Him only." Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and served him. Now when Jesus heard that John was delivered up, he withdrew into Galilee. Leaving Nazareth, he came and lived in Capernaum, which is by the sea, in the region of Zebulun and Naphtali, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken through Isaiah the prophet, saying, "The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali toward the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who sat in darkness saw a great light. To those who sat in the region and shadow of death, to them light has dawned." From that time Jesus began to preach and to say, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." Walking by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. He said to them, "Come after me, and I will make you fishers of men." They immediately left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, in the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. He called them. They immediately left the boat and their father and followed him. Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and every sickness among the people. The report about him went into all Syria. They brought to him all who were sick, afflicted with various diseases and torments, possessed with demons, epileptics, and paralytics, and he healed them. Great multitudes from Galilee, Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and from beyond the Jordan followed him. Great multitudes from all these places followed him. So in our Sunday schools, you always have the disciples following him, and he and the disciples, speaking or preaching to multitudes. And we often forget that he had a lot of followers, men and women. So Psalm chapter 78, 32 through 39. For all this they still sinned and didn't believe in his wondrous works. Therefore he consumed their days in vanity and their years in terror. When he killed them, Then they inquired after him. They returned and sought God earnestly. They remembered that God was their rock, the Most High God, their Redeemer. But they flattered him with their mouths and lied to him with their tongue. For their heart was not right with them, neither were they faithful in his covenant. But he, being merciful, forgave iniquity and didn't destroy them. Yes, many times he turned his anger away and didn't stir up all his wrath. He remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passes by and doesn't come again. Yeah. How about that? So many times I hear about God and his wrath. And, for those who are not educated in the Bible and maybe educated in certain doctrines, or maybe even educated in the church and are so turned off by God's wrath that they've walked away. He remembers that we are but wind, we're dust. And while he may get angry about the things that we do, and there very well may be consequences for the things that we do, he loves us. And he knows how fragile we are. His wrath is not against us. His wrath is against those who do not seek justice. His wrath is for those who openly go against him. And now while I say that, I think about Paul, because Paul openly went against him. Paul, he killed Christians. He was after the church. He was going to annihilate every single one of them until he turned his life over to Christ. So I don't want to make it sound like, if anyone is in a position of just destruction and just doing horrible things against society. I'm always aware of people who might fall on this channel. So just give me a minute. Is that there is always time to turn it around. My point is, God's wrath is not against those who are in relationship with him, who are truly in relationship and trying to keep our hearts tethered to him. His wrath is against those who are just full board going against him. And that will be a very sad thing for them. So, with that, have a fantastic day. No, seriously, I am so glad that you came by. I hope you're enjoying these last few days like me. It's this is where it really gets fun, where we have Numbers folding into Isaiah, folding into Matthew. Oh, I just love it. And then Psalms swooping in and repeating the book of Numbers. Oh, I just love every minute of it. I hope you do too. Please come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 125. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you then. Bye.